Facebook Live. This one is the series for teacher appreciation. And so what we have is we are having special guests, some authors, some of our PLN friends coming on and just sharing some teacher love. And we know that Teacher Appreciation Week is coming soon. And we just wanted to spend multiple weeks celebrating the wonderful profession of teachers and the work that they do. So today we have a super special guest, and she is one of my friends, and I'm excited to have her on the show today. It's Tamara Letter. She is the author of A Passion for Kindness, and what a perfect topic to be on our show. So welcome, Tamara. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be able to chat with you today about teacher appreciation, one of my favorite topics.
You are adorable. You're going to be perfect. So tell us, for anyone who doesn't know you, tell us what you do and where you're from.
So I am a technology integrator and an instructional coach in Mechanicsville, Virginia with Hanover County Public Schools. And my main job is to work with teachers and help them out with whatever technology needs they have or things that they want to do in the classroom, and pretty much to make their dreams become reality with their students.
Awesome. And you do such a good job of that. If you guys don't follow her on Twitter, you should. She's always sharing beautiful things that she's doing with her teachers and her staff, the staff she gets to work with and students. So Tara, one of the things I've been asking everyone that joins the show is, who is your favorite teacher? You don't necessarily have to give her name, but tell us a little bit about your favorite teacher and why.
Oh, it's such a hard question because I have several.
Yeah, right?
I know, it's so hard. So I have two favorite teachers that automatically come to mind. One, Mr. George Sadler, who was my band teacher, and I wrote about him in my book, A Passion for Kindness. Oh, he was so great about building relationships. I had him in band for 3 years in high school, and I loved it so much that when I went off to college, I decided, yes, I have to keep taking band. And I didn't realize that I'm not really that great at playing an instrument. I played the flute, and I really wasn't that great, but he led me to believe that I was great. And I realized when I got to college that what I was actually seeking wasn't necessarily to become a better flute player, but I was seeking that camaraderie that I had with my friends in the band classes. And he shaped that. He created that in his own classroom and in his own niche. And ever since then, I've been trying to emulate that in any of the classes that I teach, because it all comes down to relationships.
It does. It does. And I think we're finding that to be so true right now when we're disconnected and we miss that interaction, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but for sure for me too. I found that I miss, like, for me, it's like I am distant from my coworkers. We work remotely all the time, but I have like my CrossFit family, and I miss working out with them. I miss rubbing shoulders with them, talking to them. You know, it's just weird when you don't have those relationships and interactions. So I know what you're talking about. Like, you can create that culture digitally, but it's just different.
Well, and it's hard for me because I don't have students of my own, because I support teachers, and so my relationships with the teachers in my building, it's almost like I didn't realize how much I missed them until I couldn't see them and walk down the hall and peek in and, hey, how are you doing? Do you need anything? But because I don't have my own students, in the morning when the students arrive, I'm out there greeting them and high-fiving them, giving them hugs, saying hello, and that has become such a positive start to my day, that waking up and saying hi and high-fiving my 3 children in the house isn't quite the same. I miss my students. I miss them. And so I know that the teachers all around the world are missing those moments that bring them joy and start their day on the right foot.
Agreed. I remember when I first went out of the classroom into instructional coaching, similar role, I missed all those hugs. Like, every single morning, I knew I was going to get like a jillion hugs. I taught 3rd grade, so we were really touchy-feely in the 3rd grade. And yeah, I remember that being just culture shock. So I can't even imagine like what teachers are dealing with right now. I still got them because I was still in the buildings, but yeah. Interesting times we have going. So you told us a little bit about your favorite teacher. So tell us a little bit about your favorite teaching moment. And it could be a funny moment, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that moment. Or it could be like an inspirational moment.
Oh my goodness. It's funny when you've been teaching for a long time and you start to look back, the years start to kind of blend in. This is
Mhm.
my 23rd year in education. I've done different roles throughout that time, but there's definitely certain years that kind of stand out in your mind. And I think one of I have so many favorite moments, but one of my favorite moments, I was teaching third grade in Memphis, Tennessee, and we were learning about pioneers as part of our social studies curriculum. So I decided that we were going to have a pioneer day. I was all into thematic units and trying to blend everything in together, even back then. And so I had the kids bring shoe boxes. We're going to make covered wagons, and we're going to go on a wagon trail out on the playground, and we're going to dress up like pioneers. And oh my gosh, I just want to apologize to every single child that was in my third grade class, because we worked so hard on those shoe boxes. We had fabric and we had pipe cleaners and boxes, and we were trying to figure out how to make the wheels stay on with the tag board. And do you use glue? Do you use tape? It was years before Makerspace was a thing, right? And so we finally get to the point where all these poor little wagons with their shoe boxes, we take them, we hand carry them out to the playground, because we know the second we start to roll them, they're all going to fall apart. So we carry them all out very gently, we put them all out on the asphalt playground, and we're all dressed up in our pioneer attire, and we say tally ho, and we start this long train. Every single wheel like fell off of all the shoe boxes, and all these people had all of these problems. Wagons couldn't go, we couldn't drive. So then we made that part of our story, and we were like, oh no, what did the pioneers do when their wagon wheels break? We must have spent like an hour just trying to fix all the wagons. I'm not sure how much that the students learned that day about the true curriculum of that moment and what they should have learned about pioneers, but I guarantee you that some of the children in that class became expert troubleshooters and creatively learning how to use their skills in new ways. The lesson itself probably would have been considered a disaster, but it actually became one of my most favorite memories of that time, because we laughed about that, I mean, for months on end, about how the best laid plans often go astray.
That's
But it
awesome.
was so great, because I had the flexibility as a teacher to make decisions in my classroom about what I felt was important for kids to learn. And even though, like I said, that lesson might have been viewed as a failure, um, the relationships we had built within our classroom, none of the kids teased each other's kids about their shoe. Like, we were all helping each other, trying to fix
Mhm.
each other's shoe boxes, and that type of skill of teamwork and having persistence and integrity to keep going and working through the problem, like those are skills we can't always teach the normal way in our classrooms. And so that's probably why it's one of my most favorite memories when I look back.
It's so adorable and so true. I mean, we need to give kids more opportunities to not succeed at certain things, right? To have these
Yes.
moments where they have to collaborate. We are living that right now. Like, we're trying to figure out, like, how do we collaborate? How do we problem solve? Every day's a new day. Everything's looking different. And so those are skills that are going to last forever. So that's a great memory. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
So, Tamara, we know that you are the queen of kindness, and I have been around you. I've experienced life with you for a few years, and I know that you live your message. So, this show is all about teacher appreciation, and I would love for you just to share some strategies, some it's not really strategies, it's just acts of kindness that you provide and give to teachers, and maybe some ways that we can do that remotely if you've thought of some of those things as well.
Sure. Well, this, we were just chatting earlier about what a unique time this is. And everyone in the entire country has been completely thrown off their normal go-to for status quo. And there's lots of people struggling. I mean, I'm struggling too, just trying to figure out how to work full time and still be a mom and still like give to other people. And, and there's days where I'm completely depleted. I mean, completely, like I just can't function. And I'm trying my best, but it's just too much. And so I think, offering grace to people, understanding that we're all learning new things, and we don't have answers for things sometimes, and reaching out to people is really important. Even if it's something just as simple as saying, hey, I just wanted to check up on you and see how everything is. Even if that person writes back, everything's fine, it's okay. Like, at least they know you cared, and you stopped your busy day to think of them, and then to actually follow that thought up with an action. Kindness doesn't have to be complicated. Kindness doesn't have to cost a dime. It's having that little whisper on your heart of thinking about someone and thinking, oh, wow, maybe I could brighten their day with just a short message. And so I've tried to be very intentional about reaching out to people that maybe I wouldn't ordinarily reach out to, just to check in, just to say, hey, I was thinking about you and I hope you have a great day. Short and sweet. With some other things I've done, I've tried to be very intentional about listening to the things that people share with me. So I was in a conversation with another adult who was lamenting about the fact that she couldn't find any gluten-free spaghetti. We were talking about, oh my gosh, can you believe the things that you can't find at the grocery store, like Banquet chicken nuggets? Like, what is the deal? Everyone loves them. I don't know, but now my kid's starving because there's none to find, and he won't eat anything else. So we were just kind of joking around about the things, the odd things that we couldn't find in the grocery store. And she happened to say, oh, if you ever see any gluten-free spaghetti, let me know, because I can't find it. Well, I added it to my shopping list. And the next time that I went to the grocery store, I only go once a week now because I'm trying to do the social distancing thing. And when I went, I saw 4 boxes, and I was like, I would never buy 4 boxes of gluten-free spaghetti, but I am today. So I bought them, and then I just took them to her doorstep and left them. Like, I didn't leave a note or anything. I just jumped them on her doorstep. I figured she'll see them eventually. No big deal. So kindness doesn't have to be something you do for fanfare and attention. Like, it's simply listening to people and just sharing space with them in their journey during this time. You can go beyond that. You can write letters to people, send little cards. I went and bought a whole new book of stamps just to do that, because I was all excited about the thought of reaching out to people through snail mail, which is something we haven't done in a while. But you can just take a walk in your neighborhood and smile at people you see and wave to them. I mean, it helps people remember that they're here and that they matter.
It's true. It's so true. And I love those because it's inexpensive. It's not hard to think of these things. It's just a matter of paying attention and being intentional. And I've been a recipient of some of those messages, not just from you, but from other people. And I got 2 this morning, 2. And so I don't know why, but it just brings joy to my heart, to know that people that I wouldn't even think would think of me, like, sent me an email, and one sent me a message on Facebook, and I was just like, oh, that's like the sweetest thing ever. It's little stuff like that means so much right now, because we're not connected. We're not seeing people every day. We're not in the hustle bustle of the busyness of life either. It's busy, but it's a different kind of busy. So thinking about your student, you have kids at home.
I do.
What are some of the things you're thinking of for doing for their teachers? Like, I know if they watch this, they might. Maybe stuff you've done in the past, or stuff that you like, that parents could do, because parents are watching these shows as well.
Yes.
So they're wanting to appreciate the teachers in some way, and it's weird because you're not getting to walk in and bring them flowers or whatever you normally do. So what are you thinking?
So that's so great that you asked that, because on our refrigerator, we still have the piece of paper that reminds us about teacher appreciation days at our child's school that have passed, and the date, because they spread theirs out over the whole year. They don't just do that week in May. But I was noticing in the chat that Bruce had made a great suggestion about just a simple email that costs nothing. An educator would appreciate a kind note. And so if all you have, the only way you have to connect with your child's teacher is email, sending a heartfelt email to your child's teacher, not just thanks for being, I mean, you can obviously say thanks for being my child's teacher, but go a step more and tell them why. So an example of that, my child is, shockingly enough, doesn't like writing. I don't know how that could happen, but he doesn't. It's not his favorite thing at all. And he had to do a task for his schoolwork where he had to write a reflection of something he had read. He's 10. And so he didn't want me to help him. I'm going to do it. Leave me alone. I was like, fine. So he did it. And I was like, what? You actually can write? Who knew? Like, you're playing this whole game like you don't know how to write. You totally can write. So he sent it off to his teacher, and she had sent me an email back and saying, oh, I was really surprised that he wrote so well. And of course I'm thinking, oh no, I hope she doesn't think I did it for him, because I did not. Like, he does his own work. And so, but when I wrote her back, I wanted her to know that she did that. Like, her teaching helped him to write. Like she has, just her teaching style this year has been so instrumental in, and she has a laid back style, and it fits so perfectly with our family and with the way that my child learns. And so to be able to send a heartfelt letter that really goes deep with why your child is benefiting from having that person as their teacher, it means so much. If your teacher happens to give out her mailing address, because I know ours did, saying, hey, if your child wants to write a letter, feel free. You obviously could have your child do that, or you could go a step further. You could actually make them a little care package and mail it. I've done this. I know I've done this for you, Tara, but you could actually.
You should tell them.
Yes, you should make them like a bucket of sunshine, or a box of sunshine, where everything in the box is yellow. And it doesn't have, like, obviously you're not going out and spending a ton of money, and you're not going to all these different stores, but like the next time you go to the grocery store, just look around. What in the store is yellow? You've got gum, you've got, the lotion, whatever you've got, whatever you can do. I don't know. You can't mail liquids, but whatever you can find, socks, whatever that are yellow. And then just put a little note and say, you bring so much sunshine to our life. We wanted to give you a box of sunshine in return. Something that simple, but it sure does make people happy to get a surprise of anything. And then to know that they're appreciated, like that will move mountains when people know that the work that they do and the time that they put into caring for your children makes a difference. And I think teachers need to be reminded of that.
It's so true. I love my box. You sent me a box of sunshine a few years ago, a couple of years ago. I still remember it. I still remember what was in there too. It was like the sweetest surprise ever. So yeah, box of sunshine, definitely a good idea. Even if it's a small box and there's only like 4 things in there, it'd just be so cute and so fun and inexpensive. And
yes.
So, yeah, thank you for sharing. Oh, this is so beautiful. And we just want all of our teachers out there to know that we appreciate you. We think that you are the hardest working professionals. No, there's a lot of hardworking professionals out there, but some of the hardest working professionals out there in the world. And we're just so grateful for what you do for our future, for our kiddos, of all kiddos and all different learning styles and all different situations. Just the sacrifices that you make are not unnoticed, and we're so grateful for you. And Tamara, we just love having you on the show. All these acts of kindness is just great things that we can put in our toolbox and take with us when we are out and about and sharing the love with others that we care about. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This has been so much fun.
So fun. So tell everyone where they can connect with you. I'll also add your information. Sorry. I'll also add your information in our links. And then just let them know where they can find you on social media or your website.
Sure, absolutely. So you can find me on Twitter or Instagram with the handle @Tamara Letter. I also have a blog that I write several times a month. That's tamaraletter.com. And if you're looking to be uplifted, we have a Passion for Kindness Facebook group. So you could go right to Facebook and just type in a search for A Passion for Kindness and join our group. We post little inspirational videos and things that make our day a little brighter. And then my book, A Passion for Kindness, is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Yeah. And on Kindle right now for $2.99.
Kindle for $2.99. Seriously, what a great deal.
Awesome. And we'll be posting some of our teacher specials up in the comments above. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, Tamara. Thanks for everyone who joined us today. We appreciate you as well. And
Yes,
have a
thank you.
lovely day.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.